Hello and welcome to Mr. Rigden's Python course. I am Jason Rigden, aka Mr. Rigden. This is a brand new course I'm doing that should help teach you Python. This is part one, where we answer the burning question, what is Python? There's no set number of episodes here. It's just going to be an ongoing series I will just hopefully just continuously build on. So what is Python? Python is a popular, friendly, open source, interpreted, cross-platform, high-level programming language. And it's easy to read. There's a lot packed into one sentence, so let's break it down. So popular. Python is one of the most popular programming languages in the world. Lots of colleges teach it. High schools teach it. Kids learn it. It's consistently one of the top 10 in almost any survey. I think it was in the top 10 of the most recent Stack Exchange or Stack Overflow survey they did with developers. It's just consistently a very well-loved language. And the big advantage of learning a popular language is there's lots of people who can help you. There's lots of cool projects you can look at. There's groups. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. So friendly. Python has a large and very active community. There are regular meetups in almost every single major metropolitan area. There's annual and regional there's annual, regional, and international conventions. There's like PyCon, PyCascades, Slack channels, awesome mailing lists. Yeah, it's got a very, very active community. So the combination of a very friendly, open community and very popular is great because there's lots of places to get help and there's lots of people to meet and to learn from. It's open source, so it's free as in beer. So it means it doesn't cost anything to download, doesn't cost anything to install, doesn't cost any money, and as in freedom. It is open source, so you can change the code if you want, though you probably don't want to. It's not a proprietary system. You're free to do whatever you'd like with it. Interpreted, there is no separate compilation step. If you program things in like C, that needs to be compiled down to machine code. So there's a whole step. So you write your code, then you compile it, and then you can run it. Python's a little bit different. Python has an interpreter, and that interpreter will read your text files and turn them in, and it'll execute it. So it's an interpreted language, so it's a little bit different, but no separate compilation step. Python is a high-level language, so it takes care of a lot of the nitty-gritty details of programming a computer. So things like, allocating memory and managing memory. And one thing, Python is a garbage collected language, so you don't have to worry about those kinds of things. You don't have to worry about pointers. There's all kinds of wonderful things that Python tries to abstract away so you don't have to deal with it. And cross-platform, Python can run on almost any hardware or OS, from spaceships to Raspberry Pis to like serverless architectures like AWS Lambda to even maybe the Windows 10 computer that you're watching this video on right now. Python runs on it, and scripts that are written in Python can be executed on that machine. So it's very, very portable. Once again, going back to that compiled languages, if you compile a C program, that executable isn't necessarily all that portable. Like if you go to a machine with a new hardware, so for example, on my desktop, if I was to compile a program and then move it to my Raspberry Pi, it won't work. But my Python file, I can move that all over the place as long as all the libraries I'm using are all compatible and have versions available for the right hardware. I can move that all over the place. So it's very portable, very cross-platform. It's a good feature. And it's a programming language. So a programming language is just simply a set of instructions for a computer. It tells the computer what to do. Easy to read. So this is the most understandable feature of Python, and I think it is the absolute most important feature, and it's not talked about enough. So you're going to spend a lot more time as a developer reading code than you will writing code. You're going to be trying to figure out why things work, why things don't work. You're going to have to read so much code that eventually you're going to really realize the value of a really readable programming language. And Python is very, very readable. Because in case you don't understand, like if you have a bug in a program, you're going to read through the source code to figure out what went wrong. If it is a very dense language, it's very hard to read, you're probably not actually going to debug that. What you're actually going to do is rewrite it from scratch. This happens all the time. People will just rewrite. So Python, very easy to read. Python's history. So it was first released in 1991, so it's older than most people think. It was invented by GUIDO. I don't know, do people invent software? It was created by GUIDO. He is what we call him the benevolent dictator for life. You also often see that acronym of BDFL. Did I get that right? I hope so. And he's basically like the leader of the organization, the community. It's there's different ways to manage an open source community, and the benevolent dictator model works for Python. So that is Guido. He's a great guy. And version 2 versus 3 is something that every beginner should know. So version 3 of Python was released in 2008. It is incompatible with Python 2. And it's also important to realize that Python 2 will reach its end of life in 2020. That may seem like a bajillion years away, but it's like a year and some change. So if you are learning Python, make sure that you are using Python 3 and not Python 2. And when you're looking at code, if it doesn't work, check to see if it might be Python 2 code. You'll need to check on your system to make sure you actually have the right version of Python installed. So don't worry about Python 2 at all. Yeah, don't worry about it at all, because it's getting old. It's going to be the end of life. No one's going to care about it soon. Just Python 3. Always think Python 3. So oftentimes we hear this too about Python. It's just a scripting language. It's not a real programming language, right? All scripting languages are programming languages, even shell scripts. All right, so Python, even saying that, Python is a general purpose programming language. You can do GUIs with it. You can do all kinds of stuff with it. Yeah, oftentimes people use scripting language are using it in a derogative way, and they really are. I think they're oftentimes, when you talk to them, what they're talking about is high-level languages versus low-level languages. And so Python is a very high-level language. It abstracts a lot of things for you, like memory management and stuff. And they think that the low-level languages, like C, that's real programming, but that's their internal biases. Okay, so going into the next thing, isn't Python slow? So kind of. Code execution is often quite slower, but code creation is faster. One of the philosophies of all high-level languages is usually the issue of whose time is more important for this project, the machine or the programmer. So take, for example, our C code. So oftentimes a C program was going to take a lot more time to write than a Python code. So the Python code itself, if you click on the keyboard typing, it's going to take longer with C than with Python, usually. But the execution time for the C program is usually going to be quicker than the Python code. So it just kind of depends. Now, with computers being so incredibly fast now, that usually doesn't matter. What really matters more is getting your idea into code and getting it to execute. It's a balance. So it kind of depends. If you do have something that needs to be extremely fast, then Python might not be the right choice for you. But if you are just if speed isn't that big of an issue, then you're probably more interested in your developer's time. And Python is really going to maximize developer time. It's easy to understand. It's easy to debug. It's easy just to look at and understand the flow of everything. Other languages aren't always that way. So thank you for watching video number 1 of Mr. Rigden's Python course. I hope you like it. We're going to be producing these regularly. And yeah, hopefully there's more. Thank you for watching.